Dr. Bug here. Have you seen bugs floating in your pool or pond, especially if you're the first one to jump in? Kind of makes you want to ask, do all bugs float? No, not all insects can actually float. Some beetles and flies can float because of small air pockets on their bodies. But hold on, what about the other insects you see swimming or splashing around? How are they floating? Water is amazing. You've seen it yourself. Drop a rock in water and it sinks. But drop something tiny and light, like a leaf or a bug, it might float. That's the weird but cool science of surface tension. Surface tension happens when the molecules stick together tightly at the surface of the water and resist coming apart. It's like an invisible skin. It takes a force to break that skin, and if you're small and light, like a bug, you might just float right on top. This water skin helps some insects float, or even skate across the top like little water ninjas. Have you ever seen an insect gliding across a pond like it's skating? That's a water strider. It has long legs covered in hydrophobic hairs, which means that they repel water or push the water away. Their weight is spread out just right so they don't break that surface tension. Plus, those hair trap air. The strider stays dry even in waves or rain. And if a raindrop knocks it under the water, whoosh, they float right back up and even have air to breathe. So now you might be thinking, well, how do insects breathe in water? Unlike us, insects don't have lungs. They breathe through their abdomens, usually through holes called spiracles. Water insects often have special tools to help them breathe underwater. Some aquatic insects get air from the surface using breathing tubes called siphons. They're like tiny straws. If you've ever snorkeled, it's just like this. You can stay underwater a long time breathing through the snorkel. Other aquatic insects have gills, although these are usually found in the nymph stage. This picture is of the baby damselfly, and the three feather-like structures are the gills. And finally, others like the whirligig beetle live on the water surface. How do they breathe? This water beetle zooms all around the surface of the water and if alarmed, will dive under the water, trapping an air bubble to carry underwater for breathing. These little beetles are especially interesting. Their eyes are split. Part sees above the water, part sees below. That's some superhero level stuff. They can see food, avoid predators, and breathe underwater all at once. Do you want to see water tension in action? Try this easy experiment. You'll need a shallow dish or tray, water, a paper clip, a leaf or blade of grass, a button, a toothpick, or a little stick to poke into the water. Fill your dish with water. Here is my container. Yours does not need to be this big. I just wanted to make sure that you could see it on the video. I like to take notes when doing my experiments, and I suggest you do the same in order to remember what you see. My first object is a leaf. I place it under water, and it pops back up to the surface. So this one will not be a good test for surface tension. My next test is a button. It drops right to the bottom, so I know it's heavier than water and will be a good test for surface tension. This time, gently place it on top of the water, and the surface tension holds it up and it floats. Now we're going to tap, tap, tap the edge of the object so that it breaks the surface tension and it drops. Let's do one more. This is a paper clip. I had a hard time getting it to float with my fingers, so I got a pair of tweezers so I could gently place it on top of the water. Look at this picture from the top. You can really see how the surface tension almost wraps around the paper clip. Now we'll tap it down, and again, it drops to the bottom. Let's look back on our experiment and wonder. We saw that objects heavier than water can float when spread on top of the water thanks to surface tension. This is just like the insects use their bodies to stay above the water. Bugs have some amazing tricks to float, skate, dive, and breathe, all thanks to the cool science like surface tension and air bubbles. So next time you're by the water or jumping into the water, take a closer look. You might spot some floating bug magic. Until next time, we'll see you in the garden. Ask Dr. Bug originates from the Kids Ask Dr. Bug column, written by Dr. Tamara Rial, horticultural specialist with the University of Missouri Extension. Her column can be found in garden publications, newsletters, and extension websites. Do you have a question for Dr. Bug? Send them to realt@missouri.edu. Put Ask Dr. Bug in the subject and include your name and age. Or ask your questions online at the address listed here.